2019 was the second warmest year in history and the end of the warmest decade ever recorded. Carbon dioxide levels and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere rose to new records in 2019. Climate change is affecting every country on every continent. It is disrupting national economies and affecting lives. Weather patterns are changing, sea levels are rising, and weather events are becoming more extreme. Although greenhouse gas emissions are projected to drop about 6% in 2020 due to travel bans and economic slowdowns resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic, this improvement is only temporary. Climate change is not on pause. Once the global economy begins to recover from the pandemic, emissions are expected to return to higher levels. Action to address both the pandemic and the climate emergency. The Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015, aims to strengthen the global response to the threat of climate change by keeping a global temperature rise this century well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. The agreement also aims to strengthen the ability of countries to deal with the impacts of climate change through appropriate financial flows, a new technology framework and an enhanced capacity building framework. The effects are already visible and will be catastrophic unless we act now. Through education, innovation and adherence to our climate commitments, we can make the necessary changes to protect the planet. These changes also provide huge opportunities to modernize our infrastructure, which will create new jobs and promote greater prosperity across the globe. The targets. Everyone can help to make sure that we meet the global goals. Use these 5 targets to create action to combat climate change. 1. Integrate climate change measures into policies and planning. Integrate climate change measures into national policies, strategies and planning. 2. Strengthen resilience and adaptive capacity to climate-related disasters. Strengthen resilience and adaptive capacity to climate-related hazards and natural disasters in all countries. 3. Build knowledge and capacity to meet climate change. Improve education, awareness raising and human and institutional capacity on climate change mitigation, adaptation, impact reduction and early warning. 4. Implement the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. Implement the commitment undertaken by developed country parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change to a goal of mobilizing jointly $100 billion annually by 2020 from all sources to address the needs of developing countries in the context of meaningful mitigation actions and transparency on implementation, and fully operationalize the Green Climate Fund through its capitalization as soon as possible. 5. Promote mechanisms to raise capacity for planning and management. Promote mechanisms for raising capacity for effective climate change-related planning and management in least developed countries and small island developing states, including focusing on women, youth and local and marginalized communities. What are the causes of climate change? Human activity is the main cause of climate change. People burn fossil fuels and convert land from forests to agriculture. Since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, people have burned more and more fossil fuels and changed vast areas of land from forests to farmland. Burning fossil fuels produces carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas. It is called a greenhouse gas because it produces a greenhouse effect. The greenhouse carbon effect makes the Earth is the main cause of human-induced just as a greenhouse is warmer than its surroundings atmosphere for a very long time. Other greenhouse gases, such as nitrous oxide, stay in the atmosphere for a long time. Other substances only produce short-term effects. Not all substances produce warming. Some, like certain aerosols, can produce cooling. The effects of cutting down trees on the ecosystem. Cutting down trees is necessary to produce wood for construction, paper and other applications, but logging and other activities that kill trees can potentially lead to negative impacts on ecosystems and the environment as a whole. Large-scale tree cutting can lead to deforestation, a transformation of an area from Forest to terrain with little vegetation. Plants create oxygen and absorb greenhouse gases. The destruction of trees may, therefore, encourage global warming. Changing temperatures can alter which organisms can survive in an ecosystem. Cutting trees can result in the loss of habitat for animal species, which can harm ecosystems. According to National Geographic, 70% of Earth's land animals and plants live in forests, and many cannot survive the deforestation that destroys their homes. Tropical forests like the Amazon rainforest promote a cycle of evaporation and rainfall. Loss of the rainforests could result in warmer and drier climates near the tropics, according to NASA, which could destroy ecosystems that many animal and plants depend on. Climate action means stepped-up efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and strengthen resilience and adaptive capacity to climate-induced impacts, including climate-related hazards in all countries, integrating climate change measures into national policies, strategies and planning, and improving education, awareness raising and human and institutional capacity with respect to climate change mitigation, adaptation, impact reduction and early warning. If you want to watch more, just click left or right video. Hey, if you guys learned something new today, share with your friend and subscribe and stay tuned.